You're listening to The Implanted Word with Pastor Bill Gem of Grace Church in Amarillo, Texas.
The Implanted Word, your word in me.
God does not need you, but he wants you. Jesus said, just, hey, man, the harvest is great. Easter's coming. But he wants you. He wants to use you. What? With the spiritual gift you have and the influence you have, just like the evil kings still benefit. Can I tell you, the perfect king benefits from his children that do what he wants us to do. That's why I say we're participants in this.
God doesn't need us to accomplish anything. If we refuse, his plan will still come to fruition. But the really good news is we are given the opportunity to participate and be a part of his plan. In today's message, Pastor Bill will share that God wants you and wants you to be involved in his kingdom. There are so many special things about you that God designed for the betterment of not only you, but those around you. Use your God-given talents and gifts to bless others and be a part of God's plan. Now, here's Pastor Bill in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 5 as he continues his message, The Love of Money.
I turn from my ways into your love. Humble myself and accept your word. Your word planted in me is able to save my soul. Your word in me, the implanted word. Your word in me, the implanted word.
Ecclesiastes, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. For this is man's awe. For God will bring every work into judgment, including every secret thing. Can I hear you say secret thing? Whether good or evil. Did I just quote the Bible? Oh, you think you're getting away with something? No, you're not. Well, nobody saw me. Yes, he did. Everyone is a filthy, no good, dirty, rotten sinner. I'm not. Yeah, you are. Let's go back when you were in 5th grade. Well, that doesn't count. Every secret thing, let alone when you were in junior high and tripping out in high school, or maybe what you did last Saturday night. We are all guilty. That's why I need a Savior with his precious blood that can wipe all those sins away. There are no secret things with me. Jesus took care of all of them. That's good news. That's called the gospel. That's why I'm glad we don't only have Ecclesiastes in our Bible. I'd be really depressed. You get to the New Testament, you find out, wow, God sent his son. His son died. Why did his son die? So that all those secret things that you've done and I've done, they could all be erased, forgotten, forgiven. And now all the things you do for Christ are remembered. See, the judgment for us in Jesus is like Christmas morning in heaven. It's going to be a great time, a great time. Open up the presents. Let's go. But for people that don't know him, that think it's all meaningless, oh, wait till we get to the great white throne judgment. And then it's your life. Aren't you glad for Jesus? I'll stop right here because there might be somebody in the room, you don't know Jesus. You need to get to know Jesus quickly. It's a free gift. You need it. You need him. You need him. For the rest of us, we need to serve him. Why? Okay, let's go to the sermon now. That would be the bookends of the book. We've made our way all the way to chapter 5, and we left off last week in verse 8. So picking up our context or the verse, we're in chapter 5, verse 8. Are you guys ready? Do you guys love Jesus? He loves you more than you love him, guaranteed. So tonight I chose the subject or the title for this rest of chapter 5, the love of money. Chapter 5, verse 8. If you see oppression of the poor and the violent perversion of justice and righteousness in a province, in a state or country, do not marvel at the matter. For high official watches over high official, and higher officials are over them. It's not fair. I know. They're crushing the poor. I know. Somebody should do something. Jesus did. But if you think government's going to stop, you haven't studied history. You don't know what's going on in the world today. I mean, there are thousands of people being killed. You talk about injustice and strength. Well, somebody should do something. Jesus did. But you think government's gonna? Not according, he said, do not even marvel at the matter. What do you have? Well, you got one official with another official, and then you got a higher official. They're all in it for the take. Politics and money and power, it's just corrupt. Well, somebody should fix it. Somebody did. Somebody did. See, we have a big problem when you come to Jesus and he becomes your king. Then you want to compare everybody to the perfect king. And nobody compares. If I said it another way, government and politics and power and crushing the poor, Havel. God uses it. And trust me, I follow the government, but it's not my hope. When it goes sideways, well, that's what Ecclesiastes actually says. That's why I'm thankful for Jesus, and he's my king today. Is he your king? Yes. He would be the opposite. Matter of fact, Matthew chapter 5, real quick, Matthew 5. This is what Jesus said. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn. They'll be comforted. Blessed are the meek. They shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. What kind of king are you? I'm looking for the people that have already been wiped out, left over, nowhere to go, that they feel like they don't count anywhere. That's who I'm looking for. The ones that sleep behind the church at night, I'm looking for them. The ones that, they got nothing. That's who I'm looking for. And everybody else. But he has a special heart for the oppressed, for the widows, and for the poor. My Jesus, King Jesus, the opposite of what Solomon's talking about. Verse 9, talking about these high officials and kings running the world. Moreover, the profit of the land is for all. The money and everything it's making, the whole production, well, it's for all. Even the king is served from the field. So even if the king's the oppressor, he still needs the profit from the land because he got to eat something off his table. Are you tracking? So everybody, including the king, profits from the land. When I think of that, Clark has a way of explaining it. Without the field, the king cannot have supplies for his own house. And unless agriculture flourish, the necessary expenses of the state cannot be defrayed. Thus, God joins the head, the king, and the feet, the peasant, the slave, together. For while the peasant is protected by the king as the executor of the laws, the king himself is dependent on the peasant as the wealth of the nation is the fruit of the laborer's toil. You say, well, that's how it works. So you might be on minimum wage and working at a car wash somewhere, but you know what? The king still profits from what you do. The country does. See, whenever I read a verse in the Bible, I try to figure out, well, what does that mean with Jesus? He came and solved everything, right? He can't profit from us. Think about it. Well, God did everything. He can't benefit from us. Perfect king who's done everything for us. But guess who he sends out into his fields of harvest? Oh, Jesus said to them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Therefore, pray the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest. God does not need you, but he wants you. Jesus said, just, hey, man, the harvest is great. Easter's coming. But he wants you. He wants to use you. What? With the spiritual gift you have and the influence you have, just like the evil kings still benefit. Can I tell you, the perfect king benefits from his children that do what he wants us to do. That's why I say we're participants in this. He's not dependent on, you say, well, I'm not going to do my job. Okay, he'll find somebody else to do your job. It works like that. That actually should bless you unless you just don't want to serve your king. But if that means you're important. He picked you for a reason. You can do something that nobody else can. All because of Jesus. I wrote a smiley face next to that verse in my Bible. Like, wow, Lord, thank you that you're not the evil king and that you benefit from what I do. It's amazing. Verse 10, he who loves silver, that's where I came up with the title going back to 1 Timothy 6. He who loves silver will not be satisfied with silver. He who loves money will not be satisfied with money, nor he who loves abundance. Now, I just want a lot of stuff with increase. He who loves abundance with increase, this is also Havel. Man, I just love money. I got $100, I want two. I got 10,000, I just want another 10,000. I got 100,000, I just want another 100,000. I've got 1 million, I want another 1 million. It never ends. I just want abundance. It's meaningless. Kidner, the second quote there, if anything is worse than the addiction money brings, it is the emptiness it leaves. If anything is worse than the addiction for more, it's the emptiness it leaves. Man, women, we've been created with eternity in our hearts. It needs better nourishment than money, more. You were created. And yet money becomes a substitute. It's going to talk more about that as we go through this, verse 11. When goods increase, when you finally get rich, you got stuff, you got pocket loads of money. When goods increase, they increase who eat them. Oh, more people show up at your table. So what profit have the owners? Except to see them, all these new people showing up at their tables with their eyes. Oh, I just got an inheritance. Well, you'll have second and third cousins knocking on your door. Neighbors that get word. People will put you on the prayer chain. Because all of a sudden you got resources. And you thought you were blessed. Can I see trap? The third quote there with trap. Servants and friends, flatterers, and other hangbees. I never knew the word hangbee till I read this today. Servant, friends, flatterers, and other hangbees. I think of gnarly dudes that will flock to a rich man as crows do to a dead carcass, not to defend, but to devour it. So I come from Commerce City, Colorado, Mile High Trailer Park, a 14 by 60 trailer we lived in, right next to the dog track. You talk about the bottom. I graduated from high school at a dog track. Do the math. Mine was a photo finished. I don't know if I graduated or not, but anyways. So I know what it's like to be, trailer trash with an old dumpster truck, and you just threw the trash literally in the dumpster truck, and then I'd ride with my dad to the trash dump. to work for my first job. I made 90 cents an hour. Let me say it again, 90 cents an hour. That was minimum wage. That was right after World War II. No, closer to 1970. So I've seen something in my life, you might say from the bottom, and then I've pastored long enough in Amarillo, Texas that, I've known people that get an inheritance, or all of a sudden they get rich, or they start a business and it takes off and all that. And if God's blessing you, well, that's one thing, but it's another thing when all of a sudden all these people show up and families fight over the will and who's got the money. I'll never forget, this is 40 some years ago, and this guy and his brother, they were fighting over daddy's money. And the guy died. He was a doctor in town, a doctor in a church. He died so frustrated with his brother. Why? Because what you think would be a blessing can turn into a curse. Be content. If God sends you something, use it wisely. But don't think, oh man, now we've hit it big. Oh, right. Now they're all going to knock on your door. That's what he's saying. It's meaningless. Verse 12, the sleep of a laboring man is sweet. Now you need to know it's one thing I desire every day. I want sweet sleep in about 4 hours. I want to sleep sweetly. I've got some guys shaking their head. We all want that. As you get older, you really want it, okay? And you'll start, making these decisions when to stop drinking caffeine and when you're going to go to bed, and you're not going to mess with your phone or TV or anything. You just got to go to sleep because I want to go to sleep. The laboring man, the guy that's doing his job, he's just working out there, whatever. His sleep is sweet, whether he eats little or much. But the abundance of the rich will not permit him to sleep. Well, why can't you sleep? Because I got to keep going over in my mind all the money I've gotten, what's going to happen, and what is it with this stock market thing, and what are they going to do next, and what am I going to do? And they're after me, and they're still eating food at my table, and somebody better get rid of them. I better put a security system up, blah, 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 blah. Where the guy that just went out, dug a ditch, he's already asleep. Bless him. And the guy that's got all the money, he doesn't find any rest because somebody's going to get my money. Guzik's got a good quote on this. Solomon indulged an envy of the laboring man who has so much less to worry about. The rich man has greater worries and less sleep. We may suppose that Solomon found a little sympathy. We may suppose that Solomon found little sympathy from the laboring man. The laboring man wasn't feeling sorry for Solomon. He's sleeping. Solomon's the one that lost sleep. What's the point? The love of money is the root of all sorts of evil. You don't want it. Be content. Be content. If God gives you money, that's a different thing. Use it for his glory. He knows how to do that. But don't fall into that trap. Verse 13, there is a severe evil which I have seen under the sun. Remember the context. This is all looking at just planet Earth, the 70 years that you've got. There's a severe evil which I have seen under the sun. Riches kept their owners to his hurt. It's a severe evil. Riches, money, wealth kept for their owners to his hurt. Can I see Guzik 5 real quick? Solomon then observed that wealth does not bless the life of every wealthy person. Wealth does not bless the life of every wealthy person, especially those who keep their riches. They keep their riches with an ungenerous, clenched fist. They are riches kept for their owner hurt. It's going to tie you up, cost you sleep. You thought you were blessed. It's just going to hurt you. Verse 14, but for those riches perish through misfortune. You thought the riches would last. They perish through misfortune. That word misfortune means bad businesses. You invested in the wrong stock at the wrong time. You put your money on the wrong horse and you lost. You gambled your money away. I did that when I was in junior high. We used to pitch pennies and odd man out. I'd go without lunch a lot. But I learned, even before Jesus, it ain't worth it. It's to your hurt, creates hunger. Verse 15, as he came from his mother's womb, naked shall he return, to go as he came. And he shall take nothing from his labor, which he may carry away in his hand. I've probably done 200 funerals or more in 45 years. You go out the way you came in. There's no U-Haul behind the hearse. They might bury you in a grave with a motorcycle, but guess what? Just like those pyramids and the kings of whatever, you can't hang on to it. How many people do we know that are so caught up in it, and they're all alone, thinking that somehow, I can. And this also is a severe evil. Just exactly as he came, so shall he go. You came with nothing, you're going to leave with nothing. And what profit has he who has labored for the wind under the sun? You labored for the wind. It means nothing. Yeah, but I got ahead. You did? You're gone. You got nothing. You labored for the wind. Aren't you glad we got the New Testament? Aren't you thankful that your labor counts for Jesus? Everybody you know, with all they're doing, is laboring for the wind. Because when you go out the same as you came in. Somebody else is going to get your stuff. No, I put all these trust funds and guards around it. They're still going to get it. That's why I love this book. Because it forces me to say, like, I don't want to get caught up in it. I don't want to labor for the wind. And we happen to live in the windiest city, I guess, in the United States right now. Talk about being in the wrong place, doing the wrong job. It would be Amarillo, unless you're laboring for the sun. You say, I just work at Walmart. Well, you can work at Walmart laboring for the sun.
The implanted word.
We're so glad you tuned in today to The Implanted Word with Pastor Bill Gem. We'll continue to learn more through this series, book by book, as Pastor Bill touches on things from each book of the Bible. To hear his message again or to listen to additional teachings, visit our website, theimplantedword.com. You'll find our audio library under the Broadcast tab. If you have an Apple or Android device, you can download our mobile app to take The Implanted Word with you on the go. If you live in or near Amarillo, we'd love to have you join us in person for our weekly worship services. We meet Sundays at 9 and 11 a.m. and again on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. The Implanted Word is a ministry of Grace Church, and everyone is welcome to come as they are, so don't hesitate to check it out. You can find out more by clicking the Grace Church link at theimplantedword.com. We'd also like to invite you to be a part of what we're doing here at The Implanted Word. Each edition of this radio program is made possible by the donations of our listeners. We'd like to offer you the chance to donate as well. There's a secure link at theimplantedword.com. All you have to do is click on the Donate tab. All donations given are greatly appreciated and will go directly to sharing the gospel message through these programs. Thanks for your prayerful consideration of this. We're so glad you tuned in today, and we hope you'll join Pastor Bill next time. He'll continue this flyover of the books of the Bible and give you more insight into the Scriptures here on The Implanted Word.